M.Burry finally gave clarity on his X profile picture that clearly was AMC's chart with an arrow pointing to it before it ended up selling off. We got to talk about that. We got to talk about something else he posted and what it could mean for GameStop and AMC, correlation to the recent charts, all that other stuff. So watch until the end. We also have something to clear up after we talked about what AMC did yesterday. I need to clear up something for the commenters in the comment section on AMC. Watch until the end, like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn post notifications on. As always, we got a lot coming into the week. Let's have fun this week and let's make some money. Okay, first of all, take a look at this. Atlas Lithium price target decreased by 20% to 1632. This is over, according to Fintel, and this is a stock that we recently talked about on November 23rd, and that is why I'm bringing it back up. Luckily, was able to secure a partnership again, a sponsorship with ATLX, and this is very, very intriguing. So the price target for the stock was revised down to 1632 a share, yet the stock is trading at $4.60. So the downside revision comes as a collective group of analysts put their ranges from a low of $12.12 to a high of $21 a share. That's very interesting. Call to put ratio, calls are increasing. Then there are 40 funds or institutions reporting positions in Atlas Lithium, which is an increase of 3 owners or 8.11% in the last quarter. So a lot of institutions are buying up and analysts are giving it extreme targets. This was back in July when Atlas Lithium's critical minerals subsidiary reports strong rare earths, titanium, and graphite results. Back in July, you can see back here when this news right around the time frame was announced, it began gaining its legs and momentum and volume, and we came back and we're coming back to it to test it right now. Now, according to my indicator, assuming we form a head and shoulders or something like that, you could still see a brief pop to 635 to come back down to eventually rally towards that price target and beyond. Now, keep in mind the price targets that are being given on this stock, and if you want an in-depth breakdown, we again had that. If the price targets hit on this stock 1 year out, that's about a 350+% gain. Now, is it even possible? Are these analysts even on to anything? Well, you have silver at all-time highs and you have gold at all-time highs. But also, let's talk about what the company has upcoming. They're working towards beginning lithium production in early 2026 and moving from exploration to actual output, being a major step, especially for a junior miner. That is also opening the gateway for possible partnerships with any company, any EV company, any other small company, any medium, large company, right? Basically, Atlas Lithium, if you didn't see the original video, is developing lithium projects in Brazil with the goal of becoming a low-cost supplier in lithium concentrate for the EV and battery market. The company also on top of that, has exposure to rare earth minerals, giving it more than one path to create value. They also have drill results that are coming on top of what they already announced. Recent drilling identified lithium very close to the surface, and the upcoming results could be, in my opinion, the catalyst that pushes this stock past $7. They have permits, construction in progress, and then they have potential deals, rare earth exposure, etc., etc. A lot coming into 2026. So again, keep this one on your radar. Good price targets and a lot of good upcoming possible bullish catalysts for this play. Okay, let's talk about what Burry has just tweeted. So he tweets, July 1st, 2021, CNBC reports my warning that meme stocks were set to crash. The red arrow below points to July 1st, 2021. Now, this is a CNBC article he's talking about, and everyone was talking about what did this guy put in his X profile picture about AMC, about back during the meme stock mania craze, all this other stuff. Well, he's just basically, for now, at least I don't see any tin. He's basically just coming out and saying, listen, this is what happened. CNBC was reporting this, and then he's also saying, this was my call out. And you can see where the red arrow is. I called this out perfectly, that these were going to crash, and they ended up crashing. Then he posted again today, and he said, I beat this drum hard in early 2021. In quotes, prepare for inflation. Burry tweeted on February 19th, 2021, inflation pressure building. The Fed is monetizing $80 billion of treasury debt per month, and now comes trillions in stimulus debt plus reopening. He tweeted 4 days later, history is not useless. He said in another tweet, this text explores the 1970s American inflation, which is more relevant today than one might think. Now, this is interesting as well, because he's saying he called it again, but I think he's hinting at something else. you can see the Fed is monetizing 80 billion of treasury debt per month. There has just been recent predictions done by several major banks that, or analysts, that the Fed is to begin again, technically turning the money printer on. Now, this is not the same setup, but a very similar setup that we've seen in historical cycles. But what also happened on February 19th of 2021? This is a good thing to bring up because February 19th, well, AMC paints a different picture here. February 19th, on that exact Friday, AMC bottomed out at 29.52, well, post split. And for that week after, AMC ran a total of 100%. GameStop that same week ended up bottoming out at 996, rallied 370%. Yet the week after was even more impressive. The next 2 weeks were even more impressive. So it took 3 weeks, total of 3 weeks. GameStop rallied almost 800% coming into March 10th, 2021. Okay? Very important, very crucial if we are in some sort of same thing. The same thing would be that markets are going to squeeze shorts out of their positions. Burry is kind of hinting at the same thing, in my opinion. But then these two don't coincide with one crashing and then one and ending up rallying, right? So he could be saying that we're in a melt up before a crash. It's very possible, but the only thing is that these line up with our predictions that GameStop and AMC are about to go higher. So we'll be watching that. Now, I wanted to clear up something for AMC and HYMC last night because a lot of people are pissed, and undoubtedly, I don't blame you. First of all, my custom indicator is assuming also we get a blip. Given you can adjust the timeframes on this, but it's assuming a flash down Monday and then a rally higher. I don't know if we're going to see that flash down. I don't know if we're going to see the rally all the way to $5 plus, but it's just a prediction that we are on this point of interest that I have been watching for and tracking. And then as far as GameStops goes, still looking very good to this, right? To this, what we have overlaid in black. Okay, very, very simple. There is a small possibility that they both get a pullback on Monday, but that's just a possibility. So we'll watch for overnight, see how they open. But as far as HYMC, I don't want to ramble on too long. HYMC, AMC, they broke even on their investment. However, they still have 1 million warrants riding on HYMC at $10.68. I believe that is the exact level. So right here, the red dotted line in the chart. What does that mean? That means, and they hinted at, I don't know if they hinted at letting go of it at the end of the year or what, but they have still some upside on HYMC. It's basically now a free lottery ticket or free investment here. Kind of, right? So the deal isn't completely over. I know a lot of people are saying it's over and they broke even after 4 years. I would say it was a letdown. I definitely would say it was a letdown, but de-risking right here, I don't know if it was a bad idea. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. It seems as if this could have been the best or worst time to let go of HYMC. As you can see, they just met expectations of earnings breaking even as they are on their turnaround from January of this year at $2 to hitting almost $13 now where we're trading at. We have major earnings. GameStop is Tuesday after close. Very important. So I would personally love to see the pullback Monday. That means more room possibly for upside on Tuesday. We're going to be watching the flow, especially in Discord, seeing which way this thing is going to move. Right now, obviously, we hope for upside, but we are going to watch very closely and not lose track of what the data is telling us. Dave and Buster's or Play reports Tuesday after close as well. Other ones that I like and I'm paying attention to is Chewy before open on Wednesday. Then Wednesday after close, there's a couple. Oracle, definitely want to paying attention to. ORCL, Oracle, definitely want to paying attention to. That has had a lengthy pullback. PL for Planet, definitely paying attention to that one. There's a couple other ones you could watch, but nothing that I really care to play. And then Thursday, AVGO, Broadcom, Lululemon, and Costco. All of these very important to watch as well. Overall, guys, hopefully you enjoyed watching or found value out of the video. Hopefully you enjoyed your Sunday. Let me know your interpretation on Burry's tweets. I am, again, trying my hardest to not look deeply into these. I'm trying to not get sucked into that rabbit hole and pulled away from technicals. I am leaving it open to interpretation for the viewers, because I don't want to, lean a bias and give false hopes, or maybe false bearishness, right? But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. So far, everything is pretty much lining up with another move higher, so I am very excited for that. But that is it, guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We have a very short period before the market opens and overnight. I love you all. God bless. Let me know about ATLX in the comments down below. Did you grab it last time we talked about it? Love you all. God bless. Lottery sucks out.